Hi guys, it's Phoebe from Who's Phoebe and welcome back to another Doctor Who video. You're probably noticing I'm sat on the opposite side to what I normally do when I film these videos. First of all, A, I've got a cat sleeping on my bed, and secondly, I get better lighting if I sit on this particular angle. As you know, I am doing 24 days of Doctor Who where I review 24 classic episodes. Now, yesterday I reviewed the croutons, but I didn't want to do the black and white episodes anymore just because I felt like, because I have farm tomorrow, or as you're watching this, I would have been at the farm and I would have been absolutely whacked. I decided I was going to move on to the third Doctor, John Pertwee. And the first episode I'm reviewing, well, story from his era, is Spearhead from Space. Now, this is a very important story in Doctor Who because it introduces the Artons, the Nestine consciousness, and also it's the first coloured story of Doctor Who because they were actually, in the 70s, people would have had coloured TVs and filming in colour was a lot less expensive. And also he was the last Doctor in black and white, so if you still had a black and white TV he would still be black and white for you. But this is a very important story and I am so excited to review this. I did research a few things upon doing this because I wanted to make sure that this was 100% accurate. There is a joke about when the Doctor has regenerated and is in hospital about they don't know what's normal for him. Dr. Henderson doesn't know what his normal pulse rate is, and I did look this up, and it's 170 beats per minute is a normal pulse rate for a Time Lord. So I did want to just look that up just to make sure I had all the information necessary before starting this video. Now, if you've never seen my face on the screen before, please click the red subscribe button down below and also click the notification bell so you can be part of the Who's Phoebe family. I've also made a playlist of all my videos, my 24 days of Doctor Who videos, so please, it's on my channel, so make sure you go see that. And anyway, without further ado, let's go on with the video. So this is a regeneration story, and after the War Games, the Time Lords basically exile the Doctor to Earth because they don't actually believe there's even a universe despite there is, and they do kind of they will start kind of researching the possibility that there is other things in the universe that they cannot control, but as a punishment they basically exile the Doctor to Earth and make him regenerate. And obviously we know the Doctor's relationship, even through the classic years, was tested with the Time Lords. Like, there was so much to do. Anyway, so first thing we get is not the Doctor in the TARDIS. Oh no, it's something that looks like a meteorite but isn't a meteorite, if that makes sense. Anyway, we then obviously, this is like the second appearance of Unit, and this is such a good appearance. It's like, Unit is full in colour now, so you can see like the soldiers and that. It's really, really good. I really genuinely do like this. It's a very, very, very good story in itself. But yeah, so we get the Brigadier again, and we get Liz Shaw, the Doctor's new companion. She is a scientist and she comes to Unit to basically analyse what is going on, and I think that is really good. We then obviously get the Doctor face planting from the TARDIS. He's regenerated, TARDIS is brought to Earth. Duff. He gets brought to the Asbridge Cottage Hospital. Now this is where things get confusing because he's not human. Dr. Henderson basically looks after him as he is dealing with the side effects of his regeneration. We know throughout the course of Doctor Who, every single Doctor has experienced regeneration side effects, either mildly or quite severe. And obviously the third Doctor, the third version of the Doctor, has obviously been unconscious. This regeneration has caused him to be unconscious. So they bring him to hospital, naturally, when they find him. And when Monroe rings the Brigadier and says that they found him outside the police box, what does the Brigadier do? He wants to place an armed guard outside on the TARDIS basically to stop anyone from going anywhere near it. And Dr. Henderson probably, after finding out that the Doctor is an alien, probably had to sign a unit form about it because, like, you know, can't let information about the Doctor slip, can we? But he doesn't actually know what is wrong with the Doctor. The nurse says that his pulse has settled down 10 a minute, and I did actually research this, as I mentioned at the beginning. that a normal Time Lord's pulse rate is actually 170 beats per minute, and 10 cc's is relatively normal for a Time Lord at a resting heart rate. And the Doctor keeps slipping in and out of consciousness during this story. He is pretty much unconscious for the first 2 parts of this story. This is a 4-part story, so he is pretty much unconscious for the first 2 parts of this story, which is interesting. He then gets kidnapped by these people who are basically living plastic, autons they're called, and they kidnap the Doctor, and the Doctor, in really clever style, uses the wheelchair and pushes himself away. Unfortunately, towards the end of the first part, the unit soldiers accidentally shoot him, causing him to have a slight burn from the bullet on the scalp. And naturally, he's taken back to Ashbridge Cottage Hospital to basically continue the rest of his recovery, if you like. And then he goes into a self-induced coma. We know that Time Lords can do that, but for Dr. Henderson, that's impossible for a human to go into a self-induced coma in any way, shape or form. So he can't really, he's dealing with a total alien physiology and he can't really guess. And the Doctor at this point, after being in his self-induced coma for a little while, he's actually recovering from the regeneration, because the next thing we see, Dr. Henderson is wanting a specialist, clearly someone from like outskirts who kind of understands this a lot more. The Doctor goes into the Doctor's little cloakroom, if you like, says doctors only, and he has a shower, which I think it's interesting, we've never seen that before. The Doctor has kind of just finished coming around from his regeneration, he's fully recovered at this point, he's ready to actually get back out and do whatever it is necessary to solve. Obviously we know that the Autons are all planning this, and then this is kind of all revolving around the same time the Doctor kind of falls to Earth and all of this. So when the Doctor has a shower, he nicks some clothes and he nicks a car. Really good. I really like John Pertwee's kind of frills and stuff like that. It's really fun. And he obviously has the watch, which has the TARDIS homing device on it, and that is really cool. He goes to unit and he promises to help the Brigadier as such, to an extent, discovering what is going on, and he convinces Liz to steal the key from the TARDIS from the Brigadier. Technically it's not really stealing, the key does belong to the Doctor because it's his TARDIS. So yeah, obviously the Brigadier, Henderson found it in the Doctor's hand, prized it out, gave it to the Brigadier, and the Brigadier was looking after it. And the Doctor goes into the TARDIS because he doesn't quite believe the Time Lords have exiled him for no reason at all. When the Brigadier realises this, he's like, hand me over the keys, like, what's the point? Like, the Time Lords have exiled me. Like, that mean, despicable, underhanded lot have basically tied me to one planet one time. What's the point? I can't go anywhere. TARDIS can't go anywhere, you know? And then he promises to help the Brigadier uncover all of this mystery, and we find out that Channing is behind all of this and living plastic. It gets creepier and creepier. This is a creepy Doctor Who story. I'm finished with the context now. I'm going to give you my review. So, I like this story. It's interesting, it's initiative, it's the perfect adventure to chuck the third Doctor into. Despite the Doctor being comatose for the first 2 parts and then coming around halfway through the second part, I'll ignore that bit because we know regeneration and all of that. So yeah, it's interesting for sure. I definitely like the Doctor's kind of new kind of bound personality, him trying to get away in the TARDIS, but the Time Lords have basically grounded him, and I like what he calls them, that mean despicable underhanded lot. We know the Doctor's relationship with the Time Lords have always been testy, but this probably takes the biscuit in so many ways. And yeah, so this is a really good story. Pacing is very good. The Doctor coming to Earth to help with this is very, very interesting. Meeting Liz, you know, Liz Short, brilliant. Match for the Doctor, scientist, excellent, you know, superb. We have all of this and it is really, 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 really great. And yeah, this is a perfect story to chuck the Third Doctor in. I generally do like the Third Doctor, and surprisingly, this was probably my introduction into the world of classic Who Spearhead from Space. So Spearhead from Space is a pretty solid story. It's a 4-parter, it's not too long, and I really like it. And I'd give this a solid 9 out of 10 because I love the Brigadier in this, I love Liv Shaw, I love the Third Doctor, and just everything about this story is really, really good. If you enjoyed this video, please hit a thumbs up if you did, and make sure you get videos right down below. And also get notifications, but also get notifications every single time I upload. How is it?